So, for my career letter project, my Pinnacle job would be being a producer at the top level for large artists such as Ariana Grande or The Weeknd or Mac Miller. Um, so, I was actually doing some research today and I learned a lot more than I knew before about the industry and about someone I aspire to. And that person I aspire to is a guy named Max Martin or Martin Sandberg, it's his real name. So I just kind of want to go over real quick what it takes to actually be a producer. You kind of need a good mix of soft skills and some technical knowledge. I think the soft skills are more important, in my mind at least. You need to be able to connect with your artist, talk with people, empathize with them, show them maybe a better way that they can do whatever they're doing, but in a way that's constructive. You also need the technical skills to know how to mix, use your console, mic an artist up, mic up the instruments, and just kind of, get everything cohesive and sounding professional as there is standards when you're working at this level. So I think there's a lot of ways to become a producer, honestly. There's no one clear defined path, but I think the best thing to do would be to kind of do what Max did and, become an artist and try and immerse yourself within that industry. He started off as a singer for a metal band and he was signed to a label called Chiron, I believe it's pronounced. Um, and their band actually really didn't do well, but in the meantime, he was working with producers and he was writing pop music in his free time. That's just what he enjoyed doing. And eventually, they took an interest in what he was writing and gave him the opportunity to learn how to become a producer and learn how to make these high level productions. So he spent the next 2 years doing that. And then he started writing for big artists. I think his first hit was a Backstreet Boys song and went platinum. This was back in 1997, so I was just born. Um, so it took him a while since he started, doing music in the 80s. I mean, that's about 10 years. So I think being persistent is a huge key there. Working two things at once, not just having your focus solely on one thing, and connecting with people and, trying to get your way in that way. His mentor was actually the record label's owner. His name was Dennis Pop, and he learned a lot from him, and I believe that's a large reason to why he got to where he's at. But he's very dedicated. I mean, he's still making music to this day. It's over 20 years of writing pop music. He's got hundreds of songs written. I mean, he's truly talented. I mean, he's been on the Billboard Top 100, I think, over 20 times about. So I think overall it's pretty important to just be dedicated, to be working towards your goal in different directions, by doing different things, not just sticking to one thing. Trying to network with people, being hospitable, being humble, knowing that you have to learn, knowing that you have to work your way up, I think are really important things to recognize, that you're not just going to come out and graduate and be at the top of your game. It's something that could take 5, 10, 15, even 20 years to get there, but once you do, you have that staying power and you know those people and you have those connections to do things that you want to do. So overall, researching this was a great insight for me and what I want to do, and I personally plan to start doing some of those things. So hopefully over time that will transform into me getting my Pinnacle job, but it's going to have to start with working my way up, doing internships, doing what I can to get my foot in the door and meeting people, and hopefully finding a mentor and, just working my way up from there.